Blood typing. I'm going to get into the 4 different blood groups. I'm not going to get into the RH in this one. I can discuss that in another video. And as you can probably tell already, I got some cheesy, corny ways to teach you that, so hopefully you remember. And as you can see my website right there, www.profroofs.com, I'll also have some practice sheets and questions you can download to practice later. So let's get started. Introduction to the red blood cell. Alright, so there's a bunch of red blood cells here. Red blood cell is abbreviated RBC. You see that written up here. Also, if you're interested, this is a scanning electron microscope view of the red blood cell. You can tell because it has a 3D shape. Very quickly here, another name for a red blood cell is a what site? Is an erythrocyte. And if you look at the shape of a red blood cell, you'll notice there's a little dent, and there's actually a dent on both sides, both on the top and the bottom. And the dent, it goes inwards like that, and on the other side it goes inwards like that, and then it's connected at the edge just like that. So because this goes in, it's not called convex. Convex would be here and here. It's called concave because it's just like, pretend there used to be a wall right here, it just caved in, right? Both sides caved in. Bi means how many? Bi means 2. So 1 here, 2 here. It's biconcave. Famous analogy that people like to use is imagine a donut, and everybody always gets hungry when we see this, including myself. And it's a little jelly donut, but smash in the top just a little bit and smash in the bottom a little bit. Make sure your best friend's standing in front of you when you do that. And not completely, but just push it in a little bit, and that's what biconcave looks like. So yeah, next time you're at Dunkin' Donuts, just smash that donut on your friend and say, that's biconcave, that's your red blood cell. Okay, so next, if you look here, there's like, sugar or sprinkles or whatever, and there's a bunch of different ones. Well, that's what the red blood cell's like. We have all these little dots on there, and the dots, they mean something. They're markers. So this could say this is a red blood cell. We could get another marker and we could say this is a B red blood cell. We can get another one and this could have A and it could also have B. Well, obviously, what do we call that? That's an AB red blood cell. And then what are we going to call it if it doesn't have either A or B? We're going to call that an O red blood cell. So again, just imagine the red blood cells like jelly donuts. That's a green jelly donut or that's a blue jelly donut. Each sprinkle or decoration on it decides what kind of donut that is. Alright, moving on. Let's first talk about antigens and then we'll talk about antibodies. So antigens, I call them the party hats, or another thing to call them is name tags. For example, if you're, at some sort of gathering and your name tag says, Adam on it, your name is Adam. Or if your name tag says Bob on it, your name is Bob. So, or you can just use the first letter A and B. If you have both of them together, right, like first and last name, your name's Adam Bob. If you don't have any of them, now you're just O alone or something. All right, so our 4 blood types, hopefully you know them by now. First there is A, then there is B, and then both of them together we have AB, and then we have blood type O. So I'm just drawing these little elliptical shapes to represent the blood cells. I try to have some fun. I put some faces on these guys, have a good time like always. And this guy, he's going to have a sad face. You'll see why later on. Okay, so these name tags or these antigens, I try to symbolize them as party hats. We're going to have a party. I just love the parties. And then this guy, he's going to have a blue top hat right here. He's having a good time. And if you look at the bottom right, the B, blue, right, or box or whatever, just to help you remember. A, that's that antigen. This guy over here, he has that blue top hat as well too, that blue box. And this guy's wearing another party hat too. He's wearing both of them, right? He has A and B. This guy has none. That makes him type O. That's why he's very sad. He's not a fun guy. However, the interesting thing is he can help everybody else out, but nobody can help him out. That's why he's O alone. He's so sad. And in contrast, look at AB. He's got both hats on. He's a big partier. He can barely even smile. He probably can barely even walk, which means he's partying a lot. Everybody's coming over to his house to party. So he's having a good time. And this guy's upset because nobody's coming to his house. He has to go over to everybody else's house. You can kind of think of O as a designated driver, right? He does the driving, goes to AB's house, goes to B, goes to A. So he's upset. He's not having a good time. AB, he's not driving. He's not going anywhere. He's partying. He's staying at home. So just keep that in mind when we get to the universal donor and recipient. One last thing, remember the red blood cell, it's not that elliptical shape. It has that what? It has that concave shape to it, that Preston shape. Okay, moving on. Antibodies. These are going to be the haters at our party. They're going to cause agglutination, or they're going to cause a fight. Whenever you have haters, you have fight. So, anti. What does anti mean? Anti means against. Against the bodies being the red blood cells. There's two ways to abbreviate antibodies. One way is just to take A and B from antibodies. The other way is IG, immunoglobulins. You can look up the spelling for that one. There are 5 IGs. You can remember them with the acronym GAMED, G, A, M, E, and D. And antibodies for blood antigens are actually IgMs. So what does an antibody look like? What letter of the alphabet? It looks like a Y. Now I'm just going to draw it upside down. Here's the A and the B. And these antibodies, these haters, all right, they are going to grab onto specific antigens. So this one is going to grab onto the A, and this one over here is going to grab onto the B. And just to make things fun, I'll give them a head. Well, this guy's going to have a very small head. Alright, well, he's a hater. Who really cares anyway? So there's the eyes, you know, they're haters. Well, what do? Let's say there is a red blood cell at the party, right, having a good time. And this red blood cell is wearing the A hat. Well, this hater hates, is against the A. Is against the A antigen. So he's going to go and bind and then just going to start a fight. Same thing with anti-B. He's at the party and he sees some guy hanging out at the party, and this guy is wearing a B hat, a B antigen, so he hates against it. Even if this guy is wearing the A hat, the A antigen, he's still going to hate him. It's not like he 50% hates him, he totally hates him. So what is this called? This process is called agglutination or coagulation right here. That's when they start fighting and they start binding and then they start clumping up. So what you're going to see, all right, I'm just going to skip the faces, is, you know, they're going to start to bind. There's going to be a big fight. You know, it's going to bind to another one. And then let's say this guy has a hat on this side. He's wearing a hat on his ear. He's wearing a hat on his neck. So here comes another hater and he's binding on just like that. So they're going to start to clump up together and then just start one big fight and a mess. And that's called agglutination, coagulation. Why, if we have a blood vessel and then you find this coagulated, is that bad? Well, it can cause a blood clot and death to the tissue if it's flowing this way. It's never going to make it down here. You can get a myocardial infarction, a stroke. You get the idea. So again, just to remember antibodies versus antigens, because that's commonly mistaken. Antibody against the body of the red blood cell, the bodies that are having fun at the party. So now let's put everything together. We're going to talk about whole blood, antibodies with antigens. Okay, I'm just calling this the homes. So if somebody has type A blood, what's in their blood? Okay, let's take the red blood cell. We have the red blood cell, it's in there. It's type A blood, so what do we call this hat here? We call this the A antigen. Let's draw in the other red blood cells. Here's the B. Here's AB. And then we said, oh, we're making him a sad face. So who else is going to have the A hat? Well, if they have A in their name, type AB blood, so they have the A antigen. And then B, he's going to have the B, the blue box top hat, and AB is going to have it as well too. But O doesn't have anything. He's all upset. He's not wearing any hats. No antigens. So what's the main idea when you figure out what antibody each blood type has? Well, you want to keep in mind there can't be any fighting. No fighting at home. I'm sure you remember your parents telling you that before. So we don't want fighting, or the word here is agglutination. And another word we said was coagulation. So we can't have any of that. So let's draw an antibody in here. What would be the problem if this hater hated against the A hat? Well, there'd be fight and there'd be coagulation. So we cannot have that happen. Okay, let's say we have the anti-B antibody in there. Is that okay? Yeah, because that's not going to bind to that. They're not going to go together. So you have this hater over here at the party, and that's fine because they're not going to hate on each other. He only hates the blue hats, not the green hats. So blood type A has the A antigen and also has anti-B antibody. Okay, what about blood type B? The same idea. Can we hate against the B hat? No, because we get agglutination or coagulation. Can we hate against the red hat? Sure. So maybe we could add more to this. No fighting at home, but also we want to have as much people as we can, but also, let's say, many people. So kind of the idea is, how many people can you get in this house to have a party without there being any fights? So therefore, we could also have anti-A antibody in here, as well as the B antigen. Okay, AB. Can we have any haters in here? A? No, there's going to be a fight. B? No, there's going to be a fight. So type AB blood has no antibodies, but it has the A and B antigen. Type O, there are no party hats. So guess what? We can have all the haters here at the party. We can hate against the A hat. We can also hate against the B hat. We got as many people in here as we could, and still there is no fight. Okay, so two last things here before we continue on to transfusions. One, questions you could be asked. If you were asked which blood type has no antibodies but both antigens, that's going to be type AB, right? No antibodies, but it has both antigens. Blood type O has both antibodies, right? It has anti-A and B, but it has no antigens on it. One quick word about antibodies. If you take a look at an antibody, you know, there's a part that's going to bind to the antigen there that's on the bottom. They give antibody regions. This part right up here they call the FC region. This part here is the same as this part down here. They call it the FAB region. AB for antigen binding, right? Because it's going to bind to the antigen right in these sites over here. This is called the FC region because this part stays constant. It doesn't change. As you can see, this is going to bind to the A antigen. This over here is binding to the B antigen. So if you can't remember FAB antigen binding, maybe you can think of fab, like fabulous. Like these are shoes. Those are some fabulous shoes it's wearing. Okay, so I know you're judging me now, so let's move on to transfusions. Blood transfusions. I'm calling this party time. Let's shake it up. I want you to pay very, very close special attention to this step right here, because this is where everybody usually messes up when it comes to blood transfusions. Alright, so let's see if this works. Okay, so first, you're going to draw the blood. You're going to take it into the syringe, tube, whatever, and you're going to shake it up. Shake it up, set the party, you know, good time. It's in the tube, and this machine starts to revolve around. What's the name of this machine? This is called a centrifuge. Okay, so after it's done centrifuging, if you take a look down here, it's not just a tube of all red blood anymore. It's separated into different components. Down here, you have your red blood cells that make up this portion right here. That's about 45% in males, usually a little bit lower, about 40% in females. just because males have testosterone, which influences erythropoietin. That's from the renal system and the kidneys. Don't worry about it. Then in this little area over here, this small area, they call it the white buffy coat, is where you find your white blood cells, 5 main groups, and platelets for coagulation. And then up here, we call this about 55% of the blood. 90%, or a little bit more, about 92, 93, is water. But what matters here is this is where you're going to find these guys. What are these guys? These are the antibodies. So now we have separated the antibodies from the red blood cells. The red blood cells, they're more dense, so they're down at the bottom. The antibodies, they're up top. So basically when you centrifuge blood, you can separate it. Otherwise, it's all mixed in together. So again, really quickly, in the blood, you have the red blood cells. They're all mixed together with the antibodies. They're not separated. You take the blood, put it in the centrifuge, spin it very, very fast, like the amusement park. You've ever gone to that ride, you stood against the wall, it spins fast. So it separates it on density. The more dense things, the red blood cells will be at the bottom, and now your antibodies are up top in the plasma. Another word is plasma. They also call it antiserum because it has the antibodies inside it, as well as other proteins such as albumin and fibrinogen. Okay, so let's draw a red blood cell. Let's do an example here. Let's say somebody has type A blood, and then somebody over here has type B blood. So what antibodies are going to be in each of them? Well, A is definitely going to have one, B is definitely going to have one, and we talked about it. So the way to figure out is to think about the antigens. This is type A because his name is A. He's wearing the A name tag or the A party hat. Over here, this is B because he's wearing the B party hat. Now, who's going to have what antibody? A, he can have the B. He can hate against the B hat because he's wearing the A. B, same idea, has the anti-A antibody, right? This is anti-A because, he's not wearing the A hat over here. This hater can be at the party with him. So pay attention here. The red blood cell goes to the party, not the haters. So the question is, can A transfer to B? Red blood cell goes. Why? Because when they take your blood, they centrifuge your blood and they separate it. This is the part that you're donating. This they also called packed red blood cell volume, or it could be packed cell volume, or there's different variations of it. Basically, all your red blood cells are packed together. And of course, another word for packed cell volume is your hematocrit. So when you donate to somebody, you donate this. You don't donate that part. So what does that mean? The hater is not allowed to come to the party, just the red blood cell. So the red blood cell floats over, and he's coming over. And look, he's over here at the party. And what is he wearing? What hat is he wearing? He's wearing the A hat. Uh-oh, what's going to happen? Boom. It's going to attach onto there, and you're going to get, what's that word called? You're going to get coagulation. So can A donate to B? No, because there's going to be coagulation. What about, can B donate to A? And I know it's getting a little messy, but think about it. Once that cell comes over here, he makes his way over here, he's wearing the blue hat. The blue hat is the blue antigen. What does A have in his body? He's going to hate, and then there's going to be coagulation if he comes over here. So no, neither way. A can't go to B, B can't go to A. Again, keep in mind, it's the red blood cell that goes to the party, not the haters, because we're donating this portion down here. Okay, can A donate to B? Let's draw AB's blood. So here's AB. He's our big partier. He has both party hats on. He's got the A antigen, got the B antigen as well too. So can he have any haters at the party? No, there can't be any haters at the party. So what happened when A starts to swim over, right? A is coming over here. Here's A down here, right? A's having a good time, even though his face is a little messed up. He's having a great time, and there's no haters. So great, right? We can party. That's good. So yes, A can donate to B. What about the other way around? If we look at A had the anti-B antibody just sitting right over there. So it's hating against the B hat. So if this guy was to start to swim over, this anti-B antibody would attack that hat and there'd be coagulation. So this way, no, you can't do that. So let's do one more. Can A donate to O? So hopefully you guys are getting the idea here. Here's O, right? He's all sad. He doesn't wear party hats, right? It's because he's a designated driver, and you'll see why very soon. So if O has no party hats, remember at the home, we want as many people at the home without causing a fight. That means O is going to have the antibodies against both antigens, against the A and against the B. So once A swims over here, here's A now, right? And A is wearing the party hat. Look what's going to happen. Here comes this hater right here, right? He sees A. He's all mad. He's coming down here. Down here. He's going to grab, latch onto that. And we're going to get, what's that word? Coagulation or agglutination. So, no, A cannot donate to O. But what about the other way? Can O donate to A? Okay, keep in mind, what's the antibody? Who's the hater at the party? So when O comes over, is anybody going to hate against O? Remember, look back here. A has the hater against the B antigen, the B party hat. So when O comes over here, oh wait, O's not wearing any hats. So yeah, that's cool. O can come over because no matter what antibodies are over here, O can go over because O is wearing no hats. So yes, O can donate to A. So again, I cannot emphasize this enough. It's the red blood cell that gets donated. It's not the haters, not the antibodies, the Igs. They do not go over. Nobody wants a hater to come to their party. Leave them at home. So let's talk about something interesting. So we mentioned this is the packed cell volume, or the hematocrit. So when you donate the blood, it gets centrifuged, it separates, and this is the part that you're going to donate. Yeah, you could donate platelets, you could donate serum, but here we're talking about donating red blood cells. So let's call this like 1 unit right here. So if this is 1 unit of blood, there's a way to actually donate 2 units, 2 packed cell volumes. And they call this here a double red cell donation. How do they do that? Well, there's a machine that as it takes your blood out, it's going to separate it, it's going to keep the red blood cells, then it returns the plasma to you. It puts that plasma so you don't lose that volume, because here you're losing it after the centrifuge. Here it will put it back into you, so then they can pull out another cycle of blood and take more red blood cells from you. Don't worry, it's safe and it's all good as long as you're healthy. But that's called a double red cell donation, and it's because that plasma gets put back into you. Okay, you got it? Good. Let's wrap this up. So I encourage you here to take the time, stop this, and think about it. But I'm just going to continue, and we'll fill out this flow chart. So can A donate to A? Yes. Can AB donate to AB? Yes. Can B donate to B? Yes. Can O donate to O? Yes. So you can donate to your own blood type. You only can't donate to your own blood type when you talk about the Rh factor, the positive and the negative signs, but that's another video. Can A donate to B? No. Can B donate to A? No. Now we got to look at A, B, and O. What did we say about AB? If we took a look at AB, we said AB has both hats on top of it. One right there for the A and the B, the blue box. So what did its house have? What did AB's house have in terms of antibodies? Can it have any haters inside? No, because that's going to attack itself. So what's important here is that AB has no antibodies. So basically it has no what? No haters. So everybody can come to the party here. So if everybody can come over to the party, that's awesome. That's why AB is having such a good time. Everybody's coming over to his house, even O is. Alright? We got A over here, we got B over here. Everybody's having a great time because there's no haters at the party. So can A go to AB? Yes. Can B go to AB? Yes. Can O go to AB? Yes. So that makes AB what? It makes AB the universal recipient, right? Everybody can come over to AB's house. What's the downside to that? Is AB can only go to AB's house because at B's house there's a hater against the A. At A's house there's a hater against the B, an antibody against the B. Now let's look at type O blood. Right? So this is going to be type O. So when we drew O with a sad face. O has no hats. He has no hats. Not only that, he has both the haters at his house. He has anti-A antibody and he has anti-B antibody. So he has both antibodies over here. But what did we say again about transferring? What do we transfer? Who moves? Is it the red blood cell or the antibodies? We transfer, now remember this is important, transfer RBCs, not the antibodies. They don't go anywhere. So O has no hats. He's a designated driver. He's always got to go visit people. He can't stay at home. Nobody's coming, so he's always got to go somewhere. Right? That's why O is so sad. So can O go to B? Yes. Can O go to A? Yes. Even though A has a hater against B, there's no B antigen. There's no A antigen. So there's nothing to be hated on, right? There's no party hats to be hated on. That makes O what? That makes O the universal donor. Can A go to O's house? No, because what does O have over there? O has the anti-A for that over there. Can AB go to O? No way, not at all, because it's going to be twice as hated on over there. And of course B, just like A, can't go to O because there's the anti-B antibody to be hated on. So again, AB would be your universal recipient and O would be your universal donor. Let's practice some questions. Okay, question number 1. What portion of blood is donated in transfusions? Now, transfusions, I told you can donate a bunch of stuff, but here we're talking about, let's say, blood type transfusions, not any other special type. So we have here our test tube, and then we spun the test tube. What's the name of the machine that does it? That's a centrifuge. And so you're going to find your erythrocytes, your red blood cells down here at the bottom because they're the most dense. Then right above that you're going to have this area right inside here, that's the buffy white coat. And then above it, about 55%, you're going to have your plasma inside there. And remember, in the plasma, that's where we find our antibodies. So again, what portion of the blood are we going to donate? We're donating this part down here, that packed cell volume, that hematocrit, basically the area where we have our RBCs. So the answer would be C, the packed red blood cell volume. Question number 2. Can a person with type AB blood receive from a person with type B blood? Okay, so we're saying here's AB, and then over here we're saying here's B. So can B go over to AB? So what portion goes over? It's the red blood cell. So we have over here, right, we have B. B is wearing that B for blue box hat. What antibodies is AB going to have? Well, let's draw AB in as well too. Here's AB, here's our big partier. He's got that A antigen and he's got the blue. Is AB going to have any antibodies against its own hats? No. So that's cool, right? We both have the same hat, no haters. So yes, that's possible. So we have yes and we have yes, but which one is it? Well, let's cross these out so we don't mess it up. Because AB has both A and B immunoglobulins? No, that's not true. Because AB has no immunoglobulins? Yes, that's true. So it's going to be choice D. There are no haters because AB has both antigens, both hats there. Question 3. Which blood type is the universal donor? There's an easy way to remember it, right? Double O. I just gave you the shortcut. But what about why is O the universal donor? Is it because O has no antibodies or because O has no antigens? Well, if we draw out O, right, there's the sad face, right? No hats, it's all sad. The hats are the name tags. It's because there are no antigens. What about antibodies? Are they going to have antibodies in type O blood? Yes, for sure. Because the whole idea is how many people can we fit at that home in that body and still have no agglutination, no fight. So type O has both antibodies but no antigens. But again, I cannot emphasize this enough. Donor, when we donate, this guy goes. The red blood cell donates. The haters do not go. Because how are you going to confuse it? If you think everything goes over, then you throw the antibodies onto something else. Yeah, you're going to say O can't go because O has both antibodies. That's a very common problem that I've seen. So make sure you know it's a red blood cell that goes, not the antibodies. Leave those haters at home. Alright, well, I'm pretty much done here. So if you want more questions or a review sheet, I got it on my website right here, profroos.com. When you get to the website, go to videos, go to blood types. I'm obviously producing the video now, but you'll see it there. And then down here, I have this review sheet that you can download, and the answers are down there as well too. Join me on Facebook, please. We can discuss questions of the day, and also like me on YouTube so I can help make more videos for whatever you guys want. And lastly, please help support development. Anything you can donate will be greatly appreciated. And remember, you can always contact me through the website, or you can email me at profroos.com. I hope this extremely cheesy video was at least a little bit helpful. Take care.